we're gonna make dinner? We're gonna make a chicken stew.
I like chicken stew.
You do? Me too.
And I haven't put Maggie carrot down.
Yeah, we're gonna put carrot in.
Is there another one?
Another peeler? You'll have to look in the bag.
Oh, you got it. Can you touch this?
No.
Why?
Because it's raw. You can touch the raw chicken, please. Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Okay.
So, how much do you need?
Just one bigger one. Actually, why don't you get the white colander that's over there? Thank you. It's just going everywhere.
Can you put this in here, Mom?
No, please. It goes in at the end.
I give a potato.
Yeah.
This one.
Oh, it's not cooked. You can't eat that.
Aww.
And some sausages. And we'll add a little bit more water once we add the vegetables and chicken to the broth. Okay, so we just added the remainder of our broth and we'll check back when it's done.
Amen. In the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen.
Mm-hmm.
Can you pass down the parsley? Parsley?
It's hot brown, you be careful. You hold the chicken still and then you scrape the chicken with your fork.
Well, one thing I learned today is when a piglet runs off into the brush, it's very, very hard to see them.
Yeah, because it's
They're like camouflage.
They
It's
blend
amazing.
in very well. It's hot.
Yeah.
Hot.
This is awesome, babe.
Making more for dinner.
Making one for dinner.
Yeah.
Okay, I think they can wait because we're going to move those guys out to their pen. We're going to set their pen up soon. Yeah, I'm going to go spray that down with the hose. I'll clip both. There's no nerve endings there. They don't even know what's happening. It's kind of like getting get your fingernails clipped. If you go too high, then there's nerve endings, but I know where to go. Yeah, I can hold it. Okay, come in, bud. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Had a beautiful, I think it was cocoa vine that my wife made last night. Well, it wasn't quite because we didn't have white wine, but we got our chicks in here. Some of them look a little scraggly because they're just getting their feathers in, but we clip their wings. It doesn't hurt them at all. You do it lower part where there's no blood vessels down there, so it's like clipping nails. And the only reason I did that is because we're using puppy fence, and even though it's kind of high, I don't want them flying out, because if they do, they'll get lost or they'll get, you know, taken by possibly one of our cats or something. So it's her job now to make sure that birds and stuff don't come around, and hopefully these guys will be all right. But they're looking good. So those chicks are about 3/4 Orpington and 1/4 Copper Moran. It's just a mix that we thought we'd try out, you know, see if we like it. I think if things aren't too great, we'll just go back to the old basics. I think maybe if they don't work out great, we'll just get barred rocks. They're like a really good layer, good dual purpose meat bird, really hardy. You don't really want any other chickens around, or at least that's my experience growing up on a homestead when you have barred rocks, because they're kind of bullies. But move some of our all of our pigs and with their piglets. This is a temporary spot for these guys. Moved her up here with her piglets. They're so cute. And last video we moved these guys. So they're clearing in here for me. I don't know if you can see that, but back in here, I've got a couple really big larch trees that I took down last summer, and I need her to clear this all up in here so I can just take down anything with the chainsaw and get up there and drag those logs out, because that's siding for here. So I want to get that milled up. Probably in a couple weeks. I want to get framed under the house and get the siding done. But until then, these girls can work at these little paddocks and clean them up. They're not touching these plants. And I think that's jewelweed. It looks like jewelweed. I'm almost 100% sure that's jewelweed. So jewelweed's really good plant for if you have poison ivy around and you get poison ivy, you can rub that on you to kind of prevent the poison ivy from affecting you. But we don't have poison ivy on this property. It's kind of like something I looked for. I'm super allergic to poison ivy. I got it once. I was going to start a YouTube channel about nine years ago. I started in the winter filming. I was cutting down a bunch of logs to build a log cabin, and I was dragging them out, and where I dragged them out in the field, I was at my mom's, back of my mom's property. I had them all debarked and everything, and where I dragged them, there was a bunch of poison ivy there, and I'd never really been affected by it, but I got affected that spring, and I got it so bad. It was over my whole arms, shoulders, face, my whole abdomen, legs, everywhere, you name it. Eventually my arms got infected. They went rock hard, so I went to the hospital, and they were like, it's the worst thing they've ever seen. So they ended up putting me on, I think I was on 4 different medications. Some were steroids, some were antibiotics, and this and that. And I had to take, I think it was like 20 some odd pills a day. It was insane. So it set a great fear of poison ivy. So I stay away from that stuff like you wouldn't believe. But I've got jewelweed here anyways. So next project really is to, this should have been done a little bit ago, but we've had nothing but rain for like the past 4 days, really. And every time I get the chainsaw out and I'm about to go into the woods to go to the sawmill and start building something for this. So these are starting to get really big, and I need to get these tied up. These are my tomatillos, and they've gotten huge. And I want to start getting my tomatoes. A lot of them are still standing upright, but I want to start getting them tied up, especially that bed over there. And I want to do some pruning on them. I want to get the suckers off them. And it looks like some of them have kind of double leaders, and I just want 1 leader on each plant. Maybe, I'll see. I'll kind of, it'll be a plant to plant basis to see how it's going and how much space it has. But right now I think I want to get in the woods, take some smaller trees down, and see if I can create posts with like a T on top with some 45s and run some branches across so I can tie these all up to it. So I think I'm just gonna grab some smaller trees like this one. I think it's like 4 to 5 inches in diameter, at least at the bottom. Just take some 8-foot sections. I'll take a few of these trees, and that's what I'm gonna try to make my posts and the tops out of. Sometimes with these little trees, or really any tree, you don't know what you're going to get in the middle. So this was rotten at the bottom. So I just keep cutting little pieces till I finally get up to where there's some good wood. And then that should be good all the way up. Okay. Who else? need 10 of the 8-foots, 10 of the 4-foots for the tops, and 10 another 4-foots to make the 45 bracings. We got 5.5 there. 5, 6, 7, 8. I need 2 more long ones, and then 1, 2, 18 4-foot ones. Okay, so just had a bit of a break, but I got mostly everything milled up. I still need, what is it? 1 or 2 from this pile. So these ones are ones that aren't quite as good as these ones. So that will be the top of the kind of like T. I'm not sure if I can explain it real well, but you'll see it once I make it. These ones I'm going to be cutting in half. At least I have a flat side. I'm going to 45 those, so it'll be like a T with 45s coming up, and then we'll run kind of like poles across, which will tie our tomatoes and tomatillos. We have an eggplant in there somewhere, but we don't know where we planted it. So we've got our poles done, and we've just got a little notch out on the bottoms of them, and that's so when we screw it into the planter boxes or the raised garden beds, the top will sit right on top of the ledge for a little bit more support. And we just did them about 4 inches longer than the box itself, so we'll just dig a little 4-inch hole on each end, and that will help kind of stabilize the poles at the bottom. But I'm going to start getting these together, and then I can start getting them installed. So it's kind of the gist. These will get buried down about 4 inches, and the rest will slide up the side of the garden box, and it will have that little ledge that sits on it. And then we'll have poles run across, and we'll have strings running up that tie up to the bottom of the plant, and we'll keep tying them up. So anyways, this is kind of what we're doing. Pretty awesome, you know, just some small trees in the woods over there that when it comes to milling you wouldn't really normally look at, but this is saving me a ton of money. I'd have to buy 4x4s, and I don't really want to put pressure treated lumber in the garden with all the chemicals. So yeah, this is great. It's gonna make 9 more of these, and then I'll be able to start installing them. So I'm gonna throw her on time lapse and just start whipping these together. So right now I have to make a decision. Either I stick all of these things perfectly level. Our garden bed is on a slant like this, so all the beds kind of are on that same slant. I didn't bother leveling them in perfectly. Visually, Ava, visually, It'll look good from kind of afar looking if they're all perfectly level, but up close it kind of looks not good, in my opinion. So I might just try to meet somewhere in the middle and not use the level and just try and get them looking as uniform as possible without being so drastic away from the box. So I think that's the way to go. I think we're gonna give that a go. Pretty good. We're gonna let this blow over. It'll ruin my grill. A little bit to your left. Okay, stop there. I think that's good. Alright, start it, yeah, there.
Flush?
And what's that?
Flush to the end?
No, not supposed to be flush. It's supposed to be like an overhang. How much overhang do you have? Oh, sorry, bud. Yeah, that's what you meant. Right to the edge here. Yeah, yeah. But not over. Okay?
Good there?
I'm gonna screw this one in. I'll come in and screw those ones in afterwards, okay? I'm just gonna get you to kind of hold them in place. Hard to grab stuff with gloves on. What's that? No, we'll just get it. Yeah? Oh, bless you, sweetie. So these are going to be about 16 inches on center. Get it right. Here will be good. Yeah, just kind of roughly match it up. I'm going to use the tape and fix it when I get over there, okay? Yeah. It's nice, huh? Yeah. Okay, Daddy's gonna talk on camera now, okay? Okay, so we just got her finished up. I thought I cut 20 poles for the top, but apparently I cut 18. They were in a stack, so maybe I counted some of them twice on accident. I think it looks wicked. I think if I were to do it again, I'd probably dig the hole maybe a foot deeper and have these come down maybe a foot, because it's at the top of the bed 6 feet up. Maybe that's a little excessive. If I got her down a foot deeper, I would have had more stability to it. It's a little shaky. So I think what I'm going to do, I thought the poles would be nice because they're more temporary, but what I think I'll do, not this year, I'm going to use these this year, but I think next year I'll do like a 2x3 and notch it over. And this year though, I'm definitely going to be putting, I think about up here in between where the 45s come down, a 3x3 going across and a 45s going up to it. And then that will secure it this way. And I'll probably dig these holes out again and I'll put concrete in, and that will help. I definitely need to make sure that these things are more stable than they are come the fall, because we get crazy winds whipping through here. And I don't want all this hard work to go to hell. And it could also, like, if they break, it could also like break the box too. So I definitely have plans to make these more secure, but in the meantime, like over the summer, these will be awesome. And unfortunately, my wife had to take my eldest daughter. She's had a bad cough for like 5 days straight now. So she had to take her in to get, you know, her lungs looked at and stethoscope and all that. But she's got the string, and I'm going to be using some zip ties to tie these plants up so that they can kind of give each other some space and grow up. I was going to do that in this video, but I have no idea when they're going to get back. You know, when you live way out in the middle of nowhere, it can take up to like 5+ hours to get seen by a doctor. Free healthcare, gotta love it. Anyways, I think it's great, but that's going to do it. Have a good one, guys. Bye.
Bye.